A couple of months ago, there was a trend on Twitter where everyone was talking about the alcohol-free bar that has been opened right here in Ghana. Today, we are at Eden Bar, a 0% alcohol bar, and we'll be speaking with the gentleman and the brain behind Eden Bar. He goes by the name John Asokonde. We want to find out from him what inspired him to start a 0% alcohol bar in Ghana. My name is Lilipearl Baaba Otoo, and this is Inspiring Startups. So I've been joined by John, and yeah, let's zoom straight into the conversation. I don't even know whether to welcome you or you are or you're going to welcome me.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome to Eden Bar.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you here.
Same here. You see, we will talk, but are you trying to tell me that everything here is non-alcoholic,
Yes, absolutely.
including the Heineken?
Everything you see here is not just non-alcoholic, but it's 0.0%, which means there is no drop of alcohol in everything you
Guinness?
see here. Yeah. We have the non-alcoholic beers from Guinness, Heineken, Stella, Peroni, Pittsburgher, one of my favorites, and Cobra.
And even
There's even more.
spirits?
Yeah, spirits. There's every kind of spirits you can imagine. There's a whiskey alternative. There's a gin. This is one of the biggest non-alcoholic producers. This is like a pink gin. This is the nightcap, vodka, rum, whiskey, herbal spirits. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
I'm stunned.
Yeah.
And you're doing an amazing job. And this place is beautiful.
Thank
Now,
you.
let's have this conversation. Why Eden Bar? What inspired you to start a 0% alcohol bar?
Well, the inspiration came from my own need for a space like this. After I quit drinking some 4 years ago, I quickly realized there weren't any places to go out in Accra just to have fun or just to chill with your friends without the presence of alcohol or the pressures to involve alcohol in your night out. So I thought, why not create a space like that? Because I felt there might be other people like me out there. And yeah, truly, after we opened it, we realized several people out there don't drink for different reasons, either for their faith, their values, pregnant, health, and then they still want to go out and have fun. So yeah, that's what we're able to create, and you see Eden Bar today.
Wow. All right, so tell us who John is. When we think about John, when we see John, what should come to our minds?
A young visionary leader, that's how I describe myself, because I feel like I've been ordained by God with a lot of ideas and visions to help prosper my nation and actually bring hope to people. That's something that means a lot to me, to be able to bring hope to the hopeless and to be able to inspire people to become better versions of themselves, because that's the journey I'm on myself, and so I use my story to inspire others.
So I read somewhere that you used to take alcohol, you used to do the nightlife, you were very wild. You don't even look it. So I'm really finding it difficult, merging the two characters. Tell us the story behind that.
Well, there was a time in my life when I was a very wild character.
I can't
And
imagine.
I've always been a very gentle, quiet guy, so it was best of both worlds. So you find me in a club and I'm wearing my suit, my tie, and looking very gentle, but still getting crazy, drinking alcohol, smoking, doing all these drugs. Yeah, that was a very wild time in my life. But like I was saying, I decided to quit drinking and smoking some 4 years back, and I couldn't fit in those environments any longer. And so quickly I realized I had to create something for myself if indeed I still wanted to go out, because nightlife has been a part of me from my very early teens. I always enjoy going out. I always enjoy going to parties. So I didn't want to close the party chapter of my life just yet. And so that's why I created Eden Bar.
Okay, so at which point were you introduced to, alcohol, drugs, and the wild life you're talking about?
It was a gradual process. I think with alcohol, I started right after my BEC, So yeah, that
Oh.
was about 15.
15?
Yeah, I was 15. So you go into secondary school, peer pressure,
Ah.
your seniors are drinking, everyone is drinking, and it's like you want to try it and see what's all
Yeah.
about, So that's how I started drinking, and then eventually I started smoking cigarettes, and then when I got into university, I got introduced to marijuana, which became my close
You?
friend.
Like you standing here? No. No. I can't merge the two characters.
Well,
Really?
yeah, you better
What
believe
school
because,
were you in?
I went to Valley View University.
Okay. In secondary school.
I went to a school called KJB Asatu Senior High School
Okay.
in the Volta region. Well, now it's in the T region.
Okay. Yeah. 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 All right. So once you started that life, the journey had to be graduation after graduation. What was your turning point?
My turning point came in 2018. At that point, I'd delved deep down into whatever kind of vices you could think of.
Like
And I mean, drugs, constant use of drugs, not just, once in a while. I was depending on marijuana to function, and I was drinking every day, smoking every day. And at this point in my life, I knew very well that this habit was going to destroy me because it was not just taking my money, but it was taking my time, my relationship with family, friends. Everything was just wrong. And even though I had to depend on this substance to function, I still knew deep down me that it wasn't right. So the turning point came one evening. I was watching TV and I came across a sermon by Dr. Mensa Otabil. It was titled "Stepping Out from Your Prison." And the title just struck something with me because my life was like a prison. I was very miserable. Even though I was having all the fun you can think of, I was very miserable. So
you continue, why did you feel miserable? Because I mean, you were doing your heart desires. Why were you feeling miserable?
I think it's a conscience that God has given everybody. Everybody on this earth, whether you believe in God or not, you still have a conscience. And so when you're doing something wrong or something that's going to destroy your future or destroy your life, you'd feel it within you. And I grew up in a pastor's house. So yeah, my dad is a pastor. And so I was brought up very well. And so definitely I would always remember what it felt like to be, to be in Christ or to be doing the right thing. And so I knew I was very miserable. And so I listened to the message and it just changed my whole perception on life, my choices. I realized, this is the time to step out from this misery. No one is going to do it for you. God is not going to come from heaven and take you out from it. You have to step out of it yourself. And that's where I made the decision to quit drinking, quit smoking. And it's been over 4 years now. I haven't looked back.
Wait, God is not a magician. Understood. You needed to take a step.
Yeah.
But yours seems like a deliverance. It seems like it was instant. Yeah. Was that what happened?
It was very instant. So I remember very well my last piece of weed I was smoking one evening like that, listening to a word by Dr. Mensa Otabil. And then I just felt it within me. This is the time. You need to step out of this. No one is going to do it for you. You need to actually go out there and stop it once and for all. So I went into my washroom, flashed the last piece of joint, took out. I had a lot of alcohol in my room because there was always alcohol there. I took out all the alcohol, I poured it out, and yeah, that was it.
At this point, were you living by yourself?
Yes, I was living by myself.
How did your family know, first of all?
Yes,
That you were involved in such stuff.
My family knew. Of course, they didn't know from the beginning when I started. My parents found out about my smoking habits like 3 years into smoking.
3 years? How were you hiding it from them?
I was doing my best. Like I said, I was a very gentle guy, so you'd see me in my suit and I still have weed in my jacket or something. So you'd really suspect that I'm a smoker. But they found out because a friend of mine actually snitched on me. He told my aunt about my smoking. He even showed my aunt where I keep the weed in my room, because my parents don't even live in Accra. So when I visit them, this guy knows where I keep the weed when I visit them. So on one of those occasions, I think Christmas, I visited my parents and then my mom went actually into my room, took the weed out from where I kept it, and she confronted me. So I couldn't even lie because she has evidence, clear evidence. Wow. And yeah, that's how they found out.
And that didn't make you change?
That didn't change anything.
How was her reaction?
Sad, disappointed. Yeah, but they advised me to stop and they prayed for me because I told you my dad is a pastor, so definitely they prayed for me. But it didn't change anything. And that's another thing I want people to understand, that your dad can be the holiest of holiest or a pastor or a bishop, but it doesn't, the grace doesn't automatically transcend onto you.
Calling wasn't a
Yeah, you should exactly, you should individually still seek God's face. Their prayers will do magic, because look, there were several times I had accidents because I was drunk or high driving, and I didn't die. And I believe, their prayers all these years were the things that were keeping me. But to be saved is something you have to do, on your own.
Work out your own salvation.
Exactly.
I like that. So now your parents are aware, your family are aware. How was the relationship between you and them like?
It was good. I mean, my parents are very understanding. They know exactly what this world is, and they understand how young people are with some of these things. So it wasn't a very difficult moment. And because I think I promised them I was going to stop, and I didn't stop anyway, but they thought maybe I stopped. It was years after, I think 3 years, because I smoked for a total of about 6 years. So it was 3 years.
All this happened because you were transitioning into secondary school.
Secondary university.
Yeah. Secondary university. So it kept growing gradually, and then you became like a guru in the field.
So to speak, yeah.
Yeah. Did you have friends that were doing this with you?
Yeah, I did. This kind of habits always goes along with friends. Peer pressure. You get introduced to smoking through a friend. So yeah, I had a lot of friends. My hostel back in university, that's all we did. We wake up in the morning, we smoke, we drink, we party, just that. So at a point, we didn't even care about lectures, and this affected my studies. There was a semester I failed about 4 courses at once, just one semester, F, and it was disastrous, but yeah, I still came through it.
Wow. You have a very inspiring story, and you don't get many people coming out to tell this kind of story, because the stigma and the judgment and all that.
True.
When you broke out of this habit, how was the relationship with your friends like? How did it turn out?
A lot of them didn't believe it because it was too dramatic and too sudden. Yesterday you were smoking with John.
Exactly.
Today you come and John tells you he's not smoking. I've changed. So it was crazy. Some of them thought maybe I was going through some depression or something. So Charlie, give him some 7 days or some few days, you come back to it. 7 days passed, 2 weeks passed, a month passed, and John.
And that was it.
That was it.
No way. Wow. Yeah. That's really interesting. So were you still friends with them?
I was for a while, but I realized if I wanted to really thrive in my new values and my new moral standards, I couldn't be in that environment. So I actually resigned. I was working in an entertainment company, and we had a nightclub, record label, all of those things, and I realized that environment was not going to help me thrive.
So eventually you had to cut them off, and you resigned from your job.
Yeah.
And so how was life like after that?
That's where a lot of people find it difficult to, seek God or to live or to transform their lives, because it comes with a lot of sacrifice. This job was providing everything, my accommodation, salary, everything I needed to live as a young guy. But I had to step out from this without even having anything on the side.
Wow.
So it took a lot of sacrifice, but I believed God was going to come through for me, and yeah, he has. I mean, he's provided all my needs even more abundantly. Clearly. Since then. Yeah. So
during this period, were you still a Christian? Were you still staunch? Were you still having a relationship with God? How was your Christian life?
I wasn't. I mean, I'll pray once in a while. I would go to church once in a while, especially on 31st nights. Yeah. And when I'm home, I have to go to church because of my dad. But I was just a churchgoer. I would describe myself as just a churchgoer, until I finally gave my life to Christ in 2018 and transformed.
Wow. Now, let's talk about Eden Bar. How has the journey been like?
Well, Eden Bar has been a very interesting journey. I've learned a lot. I've I've grown a lot, and it's something that really was so special to me, and so I didn't want to rush to just do anything subpar, you know. So I really took my time. This idea came to me in 2019, and that's been like what, 3-4 years ago. Yeah, but I took my time, you know, prayed about it, researched a whole lot of research about it, and yeah, finally we made it happen.
Of course, I see the research here because
Yeah.
all these are new to me. Nobody will bring any of these
At all.
things here for me
This-
to think that
this is
they are
no-
non-alcoholic, like 0.00. What you tried to make a difference between non-alcoholic and 0.00.
Yeah, I mean, around the world, they consider even 1% in some countries as non-alcoholic. But and definitely 1% can get you boozed.
Yeah.
0.5% can get you boozed. But I wanted to ensure that it's 0.0%, so you know there's no drop of alcohol to even trigger something.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so walk us through the journey, finding the space, getting these things, the research you had to do,
Yeah.
and all that.
Well, so like I said, the idea came in 2019. I was intending to do it in 2020. Then COVID hit.
Oh,
So, you know, with COVID, there's no way you could have even created a bar because nobody wants to go out.
That's true.
So I put it aside for a while. Then in 2021, I revisited the idea again. I was driving somewhere with my sister, and she was like, "John, you know, what happened to Eden Bar? I'm graduating very soon, and my friends and I would like to go somewhere and just chill. But all the suggestions are places with alcohol." And I was like, "Yeah, you know, I should revisit this idea." So I went back to my books and then, you know, started planning again. And yeah, from there, spoke to friends, met a couple of friends here and there, church fellowships, and yeah, we came together and put our heads together and made it happen.
And you got the space.
Yeah, I got this space through a friend I met in Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International, which is a chapter I'm a member of. Yeah, and he's been very helpful with.
You are blessed. You're very blessed. Now, when the news broke on social media and you were trending everywhere,
Yeah.
there was this subtle conversation beneath the conversation that it is a Christian place, and when you come here, you are coming to pray and drink, and you know, sugar, and your blood pressure will go high, and you know, there's the subtle fun side to it.
I saw all of it.
You did?
I saw everything.
First of all, how did that make you feel?
It didn't really get to me because, like I said, I spent a lot of time researching this idea. So I already knew what I was going to do. I knew the reaction people were going to have towards it, because even around the world, it's a new concept. There are just a few non-alcoholic bars across the entire world. So I saw those and I was just laughing. I mean, if you saw me then, I'll go through my Twitter especially and just laugh at those comments. And yeah, I didn't let it get to me too much because I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And Eden Bar is not a Christian space.
Yeah.
I think people relate it to being a Christian space because of my personal journey and my personal story. But Eden Bar is for anybody and everybody. You come here just to enjoy the nightlife, the bar, you know, atmosphere, without alcohol and without smoking. That's just it.
So it means that you play all the songs.
Yeah, we have.
You jam and boogie, and you know.
You should be here on a Friday night.
I'm definitely coming here on a Friday
We have
night.
DJs passing through. We play everything. We play high life, Afrobeats, reggae sometimes. Yeah, rap.
So
anything.
it's a typical bar.
Yeah,
We just don't serve alcohol.
exactly.
I got the concept. Now, yeah. Another thing, do you serve just non-alcoholic drinks or cocktails? Do you do other things on the
Yes,
side?
we actually have food. So this is
Okay.
a full bar and lounge or restaurant, as you'd call it. So we have a kitchen. We make food. Our chicken wings are the best.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody
like
has better
that.
chicken wings in Accra than us.
I like
You
that.
can take my word on that. So come try it for yourself. Yeah, we have kilewele, we have rice, we have noodles. We have quite an extensive.
Every day, everything we can think of,
Yeah.
you know, everyday meals, you have them
We
here.
do have them.
So it means you can pair it with your drinks,
Exactly.
all your
we have
dancing.
something we call chicken wings and beer on Tuesdays. So you can have a beer with our chicken wings, and the combination is really good.
So there is beer that has no alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It's
But so wait, how does it taste like? Does it taste like the same, but then it just
It does.
doesn't
The
have?
Guinness, for instance, is really bitter. You know, because Guinness
Yeah.
is bitter. This is a drought. So it's bitter. The Heineken is a bit lighter, and yeah, Stella, Peroni, they all taste like the same.
So I've never had Heineken.
Yeah.
I've tasted Guinness, the cock, because I don't like alcohol. I don't, to be honest, I don't know why people take alcohol. Because it's not nice. But yeah, but people do, and it's never tasted nice in my mouth. But I would love to try these ones that don't, have alcohol, and I would like to just have a taste of it and imagine how the alcohol, the alcoholic ones
Right.
taste like.
I'm gonna make some cocktails for you,
Okay.
so you'd be able to enjoy some of our special.
Sure.
cocktails.
So while you do that, we're going to take a quick short break, and then we'll be back.
So I'm going to mix you our cocktail we call creme de la creme, the best of the best.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that your signature?
It's our signature cocktail.
Okay.
It has Irish cream, so for those who love Baileys,
Oh,
this is something they would like so much.
Okay. Bailey's is the milk one.
The milk one, yeah.
You're no wonder it's creme de la creme.
Creme de la
That's a
creme.
pan over there.
You do. That's right. You know your stuff.
Guys, so I just tasted everything here, and I'm telling you, it tastes just like alcohol. The only difference is there is no alcohol. I don't think there's any difference because they are better. So this brings me to the conversation that was going on, that these are sugars and
Not
these
at
are
all.
just cocktails, and these are. Please tell me something about.
The thing is, it's not by chance that all these multinationals like Guinness, Heineken, Martini are all going to non-alcoholic space. It's because they've realized people don't want to drink alcohol for especially health reasons since COVID. So most of these drinks are actually lesser in calories, some of them with no sugar. Yeah, so the Heineken, for instance, has less calories than the original with the alcohol in it. And most of these drinks are also without sugar, or even sugar at all. It's just purely organic. So yeah, our drinks are really not anything. And you can testify yourself, you tasted most of these. And
Yes. Yes, I also felt that, it's non-alcoholic, 0% and all that, but I was thinking that they were going to taste like sugars, like sweetness or sweet drinks, but
at all.
they don't, you guys, they don't, and I'm very glad that I get to witness the fact that they don't. So please pass through this weekend, right? Pass
Yeah.
through this weekend. Fridays, please tell us your opening
We
hours.
open from Tuesdays to Sundays, and we open from 5 p.m. and operate into the midnight. So on Wednesdays we have game nights, Thursdays we have movies, Fridays we have karaoke, Saturdays sip and paint. So you see the paints behind me. One of our clients painted that on our sip and paint night. Yeah, so it's a whole lot of activities here. It's never a dull moment.
I like that. Where can we find you? Can you give us a vivid direction to this place?
I know, like you said earlier, when you put Eden Bar into your Google Maps, you'd find it, and the closest landmark is the Alabaster Church. It's just adjacent to us, and yeah, you can find us here any day, anytime.
Okay. Social media handles, contact details. How do we reach you?
Eden Bar GH everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, LinkedIn, everywhere.
I like
Just
that.
Eden Bar GH, and you should be able to find us. You can contact us on 0244 370 760.
Can you take that again?
0244 370 760.
Okay.
Yeah, we are getting to that. We don't take just any order, because eating bar is more about the experience than just serving drinks. So yeah, we are open to that. Once you contact us and it's something we align with, we can do it.
So I see that you have a very beautiful space. Before we go, you rent this place out for wedding receptions and all that, because I'm looking at doing a couple of things here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just hit us up. You know, either you go to our website, you can actually reserve or make your inquiries on the website, or you just call or walk in, and we can discuss and see exactly what you need, and we might be able to help you.
And it's a wrap on today's episode of Inspiring Startups. We've indeed had a very inspiring story, and I hope this inspires you to quit alcohol if you're trying to quit alcohol, and if you're looking for a space that is welcoming of your new habits. Please visit Eden Bar. They are located in Tesano. Just put Eden Bar in your Google Maps and you are going to find your way here straight. My name is Lilipearl Baaba Otoo, and I had a conversation with John. He is the founder and the big brain behind Eden Bar, a 0% alcohol bar in Accra, Ghana. See you same time next week on Inspiring Startups. Bye.